Hello learners, I welcome you once again to today's lesson of mathematics. My name is Benjamin Lumotete, your Basic 2 mathematics teacher. Our today's topic is counting numbers from 301 to 600. Counting numbers from 301 to 600. And our objective is, by the end of the lesson, you will be able to count numbers from 301 to 600. By the end of the lesson, you will be able to count numbers from 301 to 600. Before we continue, let's look at our previous homework. For our homework, number 1, I hope you had 231. And then number 2, I hope you had 164. Good. Remember, our topic is counting numbers from 301 to 600. And our objective is, by the end of the lesson, you will be able to count numbers from 301 to 600. Right. We learned that this shows 1 cube, or 1. This shows 1. So we have 1. So 2 of the cubes will be what? 2. And then 1 long also shows 10. 1 long shows 10. And in our lesson 2, we learned that 1 flat shows 100. 1 flat shows 100. So when we have 2 of the flats, we have 200. That is 100 and another 100. Put together, we have 200. Right. Remember, we are counting from 301 to 600. So when we have 3 of the flats, this is giving us 300. 300. So let's add 1 cube to 300. This gives us 301. We can add another one, 302. 303, 304, 305, 306, 307, 308, 309, 310. 310. That is 3 flats and 10 cubes. Is the same as 3 flats and 1 long. So we still have 310. So we can bring this one out and then continue counting. So we have 311, 312, 313, 314, 315, 316, 317, 318, 319, 320. So we have 320 here. This is the same as 3 flats and 2 longs. So as you can see, they are the same. So you have 320. We can continue adding. We add 1 cube to 320. That gives us 321. When I add 2 cubes, how many do you think we are going to get? So let me add the 2 cubes. So now we have 223. Let's add one more. 224. 225. 226. Let's keep on counting. 227. 327. So we have 328. 329. 330. 330 is the same as 3 flats. 1, 2, 3. 3 flats. So you have 100, 200, 300. 3 flats and 3 longs. 1, 2, 3 longs. So we have 330. Remember, 1 long is 10, or 1 long shows 10. So we have 310, 320, 330. Now, when I add 1 more long to 330, what shall we have? 340. Good. Let's add 1 more long. So we have 350. Let's continue counting. I'm adding 1 cube. So that becomes 351, 352, 353, 354, 355, 356, 357, 358, 359, 360. 360 is the same as 3 flats and then 6 longs. So let's count the number of longs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So putting all together, we have 360. So this is the same as 360. We can bring this one out and then continue counting. We have 360. We add 1 cube, 361. When I add 3 more, what am I going to have? 364. Well done. So I have 364. I'm adding 2 more cubes. 1, 2, 2 more cubes to 364. What are we going to have? 366. Well done. So we have 366. I'm adding 1 more. 367. 368. 369. 370. So you have 370. This is the same as 3 longs and 7 longs. So we have our 7 longs. Let's count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's compare. You can see that they are the same. So we still have our 370. So we can bring this one out and still have our 370. Now, when I add 1 long to 370, what am I getting? 380. When I add another long, remember 1 long shows 10. So I'm going to have 390. Well done. Let's keep on counting. 391, 392, 393, 394, 395, 396, 397, 398, 399. I add 1 more cube to get 400. 400 is the same as 4 flats. 1 flat here, I have another flat making 2 flats, 3 flats, 4 flats. And remember we said 1 flat shows 100. So we have 100, 200, 100, 400. So 4 flats gives us 400. So we can bring this one out. And then continue counting. Now remember we said 1 long shows 10. So when I add 10 to 400, what am I going to get? 410. Excellent. When I add another long, what shall we have? 420. Let's continue counting. 421, 422, 423, 424, 425, 426, 427. Remember, we are adding one cube. So we have 428. We add another cube, 429. We add another cube, 430. So we have 430. 430 is the same as 4 flats and 3 longs. So I'm adding the 3 longs to 4 flats. So I still have 430. When I add one more long to 430, what do you think we are going to have? 440. Good. I'm adding another long. Giving us 450. Let's keep on adding. We can bring this one here and then continue counting. I'm adding one more cube. So I have 451, 452, 453, 454, 455, 456, 457, 458, 459, 460. 460 is the same as 4 flats. How many longs do you think we should add so that we can get 460? 6 longs. Well done. So we have 6 longs. 1 long, 2 longs, 3 longs, 4 longs, 5 longs, 6 longs. So this is the same as 4 flats and 6 longs, giving us 460. We can take this one out and still have our 460 here. I'm adding one long to 460. And what are we getting? 470. I'm adding one long. This gives us 480. I'm adding one long. Remember, one long is 10, or one long shows 10. So we have 480. When I add one long, what are we getting? 490. Well done. So 491, 492, 493, 494, 495, 496, 497, 498, 499, and 500. So this is the same as 5 longs, because 1 long shows 100. So we have 100 here, 200, 300, 400, and 500. So we still have our 500. We can bring this one out and still have our 500. Remember, we are counting from 301 to 600. So I can add 1 long to 500. Learners, remember we said 1 long shows 10. So when I add 1 long to 500, what are we getting? 510. Excellent. So we have 510. We can add 1 more long. 520. When I add 2 longs to 520, what are we getting? So let me add them. 540. Let's keep on counting. 541, 542, 543, 544, 545, 546, 547, 548, 549, 560. And remember, this is the same as 5 flats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flats. And remember, 1 flat shows 100. So we have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. We have 500 here. How many longs do you think we should add to 500 so that we can get 550? 5 longs. Well done. So we have 5 longs. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the same as 5 flats and 5 long. We can turn it this way so that it can easily be compared. So we still have the same thing. We can bring this one out and still have our 550. Let's add 1 more long to 550. Remember, we said 1 long shows 10. So we add 1 long, giving us 560. We can add 1 more long, 560. We can add another long, 580. We can add 1 more long, 590. So we have 590. Let's add 1. 591. 592. 593. 594. 595. 596. We can add 2 more. That will give us 598. Let's add 1. 599. We add another 1, giving us 600. Remember, 600 is the same as 6 flats. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 flats. That's 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. We still have our 600. So this is the same as 6 flats. Now, let's come to our chart. For number 1, we have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 flats. So 3 flats. 1, 2, 2 longs. And then 1 cube. This will give us 321. So we can boldly write our 321. 321. For number 2, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have our 4 flats. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 flats. And then just 1 long. So 100, 200, 300, 400. And this shows 10. So we have 410. We can boldly write it here. 410. Hope you have enjoyed today's lesson. Before we go away, let's look at our homework. For number 1, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 flats and 2 cubes. 4 flats and 2 cubes. For number 2, we have 1, 2, 3. 3 flats, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 longs and 1 cube. So 3 flats, 4 longs, and 1 cube. This brings us to the end of today's lesson. Hope you have had a very nice time, and I wish to see you another day. Bye-bye.